there was another question. Obviously, I already asked Brother Peter that. The question is from an attendee. He's asking, were you afraid of failure when starting your business? If so, how did you address it? Maybe Brother Ahmed can start on that one.
I don't think there's a better answer than what Brother Peter gave. There is no failure in this world. In this world, we were made to work. That's your creation. You work, you fail, you learn. When you fail in this world, it's not fail. And when you fail in the next world, that's fail. That's it. This is very simple. And fear is something to be addressed. You are lucky that fear is not born. The word afraid here is something to watch. Because when you say, I'm afraid of anything but Allah, then it's weakness. Yes, so and luckily we build on this. Opposite of fear is bravery. And bravery is muscle, so you can work on it and get it stronger. Luckily, we're not just born with bravery. You're not, you can work on it. So yeah, there's no, fear is irrelevant if you have to have strength to overcome fear.
Thank you so much, Brother Ahmed. These are words that are applicable not only to business, but to life in general. So that's a great insight. Sister Dalal, do you have any insights regarding, you being afraid of failure? It's a common thing across all entrepreneurs and startup founders. So.
Yeah, definitely. I am the more careful one in the business. I've got my partner support who's amazing, but initially investing in a business when I didn't have a job and I had to use, the family's money was scary. And it was scary because I thought, if something goes wrong, it's on me. That's what it felt like, as a female who didn't have a, full-time career before starting this, but just having someone that you can go back to give you that confidence sometimes is really helpful. Having someone you can talk to and just clarify your thoughts is really important, because being an entrepreneur can get really lonely. I didn't have a team. I didn't have staff, a couple of years. So just having someone you can check in with is important. And that's why I love what you've started here, because you need friends in business. You truly do. You need people you can go to. Sometimes my own family, would say, like, my uncle's the ex-Australia Post CEO, Ahmed Fahua. That's him. And he said to me, what you're doing is impossible. Same day delivery of produce is impossible. And that is my own family. And now I'm just like, yeah, we do it.
That's a good thing to hold.
That's awesome, Dalal. That is the best. You should just lead with that, because mashallah, he's very successful. He's on the newspapers, but you proved the impossible. Either that, or he was just trying to set you up to make you work super hard. He's a very strategic guy, mashallah. But no, I think Dalal, you've great, amazing business you've got going. Are you in Sydney? You haven't expanded here yet, right? Because we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting, inshallah.
That's great. Brother Peter, there's one more question from the audience, and then we'll wrap it up, inshallah. It was particularly addressing your heart-centered kind of approach. And the question is, how easy or difficult has the process been of combining contemporary design and heart-centered in Ihsan principles to form your mission? I feel like it's kind of addressing that idea of modern design and kind of being able to infuse it with these very deep-seated values and principles of excellence. So
yeah, sure. Well, I kind of think of it this way. I mentioned a little bit when I was talking earlier about we experience design every moment of the day, but we might not be that conscious about it. And but definitely in terms of advertising or in noise and distraction, attention, how many devices and apps are really trying hard to get our attention and distraction. There's a lot of noise around us, and we've seen this kind of gradually, exponentially now come into our lives. And design is responsible for a lot of that. And it's design, I kind of call that design without heart. So it's very easy to do design without heart, which is, okay, how are we going to get people addicted? How are we going to make them buy things they don't really need? How are we going to get them, consume in a certain way and feel like they should have this or look like that or buy that? That's really been the paradigm of, the last probably, 50 years of consumption. and in the digital kind of environment now, it's very, very, it's just become more exponentially more, dangerous, I think, as well. That's not to say that all design and everything we experience has been negative, but what I feel that there is a reaction to that happening, and I think that you have always had, and hopefully now, a growing sense of a design consciousness, where the people, the entrepreneurs and business, are either reacting to that or actively trying to lead with. I kind of use heart-centered approach, because everyone can get around that idea, and alhamdulillah, my friends and colleagues in professional design circles globally, people that have work in tech companies or have left and started their own, people have sold their company to Facebook or Airbnb, that but they have this heart-centered approach. That language is universal, but in spiritual terms, that's just how we're taught to live our lives, and that naturally permeates into business and what we're trying to do. In that, our spiritual aspirations very much should be the foundation for what we're trying to build. And that's what gives it the beauty and the blessing is when as we've all kind of shared, Dalal early, deal with people with honesty and patience and beauty, and that shows. And then you get the blessings in the business. So whereas traditionally in entrepreneurship, and particularly startup kind of conversations, like this one, but just in terms of startup co-working spaces, it's the conversations are always about valuations, users, how do we get on board people, how do we what's the the cost per acquisition. The language itself is so heartless. It's like, how do we get people faster, how do we get to billion users, and the investors looking just at the dollar signs. But I think there's actually a lot more to people. It's just that that's the convention of the day. And without taking a whole lecture and blah blah blah, I know we're out of time, but I think there's plenty of people that would welcome what we're talking about here. And if we use the right language around heart-centeredness, like-heartedness, use that kind of language, everyone will get behind that. A lot of people, because they're thirsty for this content, and not just in their business, but in their lives as well, having this heart-centered approach to how we live our life. I think our entrepreneurs and our designers, our creatives, like on the call, actually can have a lot of influence on people's lives by the way we do business and how we treat people. Can actually be a window into the spiritual tradition behind that. But I'll leave it at that, inshallah. Sorry for the long answer.
Those are beautiful words, and I think they ring true in all aspects of life, really. And you three are testament to that staying true to your values and being steadfast, so to speak, and being thankful and patient and going through the struggles is worth it at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, it's a personal journey. And as Brother Ahmed said, we need to always have our goal in mind at the end. So I think these are great parting words for our attendees and for the speakers. So thank you again to our speakers for joining us and volunteering your time. And I will urge all the attendees, and I imagine they are very, very keen on learning more about you and your business and how you're doing things. So I urge them again to follow you on social media, and also support MECA Collective and the work that we're trying to do. This is just one of the many events, inshallah, that we will be running. So, inshallah, with no further ado, I will say thank you, a very big thank you, and may Allah reward you for your efforts and for spending your time